In today's home media minefield, I'm going to be looking at Unhinged, coming up. Hello, I'm Keith and welcome to Home Media Minefield, helping you with information to navigate the complexities of home cinema and home media entertainment. And for today's episode, I'm going to be looking at Unhinged, last year's action thriller starring Russell Crowe. Now for some release information, Unhinged was the first film that I saw when the theatres reopened last year briefly during the pandemic, and I have to say I found it quite a fun thrill ride, to be perfectly honest with you. It's not going to win any awards, but it is kind of a fun experience all the same. And British film critic Mark Kermode described it as being DUEL meets Falling Down, which I thought was actually quite a good assessment of where this film sits, and probably a good reason why I enjoyed it. But anyway, in terms of the release, this film has been released on Blu-ray and DVD and is available on many platforms for streaming. It's not actually available as a 4K UHD currently, but the film came out towards the end of last year. Now, from my research, this is available in North America via Lionsgate as a Region A locked Blu-ray, and across Europe distributed by Altitude as a Region B locked Blu-ray. Now, as far as other regions or territories go, I don't have any information on that at this time. Now, there are some minor differences between the Region A and Region B releases of this. The Region A comes with a DVD copy as well as the Blu-ray copy, and also a digital download code included. The Region B just comes with the Blu-ray disc. In terms of the actual packaging, the Region B is available in just a normal Blu-ray keep case, whereas from what I can tell, the Region A also includes a slip cover. Now, as far as the picture quality goes, this was shot digitally in 4K with a 4K digital intermediate. As far as the downscale onto 1080p Blu-ray goes, the picture quality looks absolutely fine and in my opinion works. Okay, you don't get the high dynamic range or the clarity that you'd get from a 4K release, but I think probably due to the marketplace, that's why this has just been released on DVD. I'm not sure if any of the streaming services are offering it in 4K, but obviously that would be compressed anyway. The film is presented in its 2:35:1 aspect ratio and has a very natural palette to the whole thing. But from the copy I watched, this looked great on Blu-ray. Now onto the audio. This includes a Dolby Atmos and a 5.1 soundtrack. I don't actually have a Dolby Atmos system, so I wasn't able to listen to that version, but the 5.1 sounded clear and crisp. There was some separation, very easy to understand all the dialogue, etc. So, you know, quite happy with that, but glad that they're also including Dolby Atmos tracks on these releases as well. Okay, we don't have the 4K picture, but at least we have what is currently the best in audio. Now onto the special features. I was very pleased that an audio commentary was included on this. You get an audio commentary that features director Derek Bort, cinematographer Brendan Galvin, production designer Frederick Waff, and costume designer Denise Wingate. Now it's really good that the director surrounded himself here with all the creative heads of department involved in the actual production side. And between them they have quite a lively conversation, musing about various stories from the set and challenges of filming this in New Orleans during hurricane season. Now there are some long gaps where they basically get drawn into the film and start watching it. So there are moments of silence in points of the film, but the director very much acts as a moderator and asks questions of his crew and gets them speaking. And it does prove for quite an interesting audio commentary. Now other than that, you get a half-an-hour featurette called This Side of Rage, which features interviews with cast and crew as well as behind the scenes footage. Now what's quite nice about this is you don't get repetition from the commentary because they're interviewing the producers and the cast members, as well as talking a lot about the driving and stunts involved. Now it's quite interesting that in the commentary and in the documentary they do use DUEL and Jaws as reference points for this, and in fact the reason that Russell Crowe's pickup truck is actually grey in this is because of the reference to the shark in Jaws. So lots of Steven Spielberg references throughout. Russell Crowe talks in some detail about how initially he didn't want to take this role, but then he looked at the challenge of playing this compared to what he's done previously in his 30-year career and how he embraced that. The crew talk a lot, both in the commentary and in the documentary, about how Russell is very detailed orientated, from everything from props to costume and right the way through, and how he was a joy to work with in that regard. There's also some discussion and footage regarding the casting and the fact that Karen Pistorius wasn't as well a known name as some of the other actors that went for it, but how she was absolutely right for the part. So all round, considering it's only 30 minutes long, it is actually quite a comprehensive and informative featurette. Now unfortunately there's no other special features included on this, not even a theatrical trailer, but for filmmaker fans, between the featurette and the commentary, you do get quite a lot of information about the making of this film. So that's it in terms of the release of this, regardless of which region you buy. Aside from some slight packaging differences, the actual disc and features themselves are identical across both. So in terms of the rating for this, for the picture quality, I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5. It's obviously a shame that there's not a 4K UHD available with high dynamic range, etc. But as I said, the picture quality on the Blu-ray looks very good anyway. For the audio side of things, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 because it's really great that they included a Dolby Atmos soundtrack on this as well as the 5.1. And for the special features, I'm also going to give this a 3.5 out of 5 because, again, the featurette that's on this and the audio commentary are decent with a lot of information, but of course, like always, it would be nice to have a little bit more, whether it be deleted scenes, theatrical trailers or whatever. So overall this scores an 11 out of a possible 15, which isn't too bad for this release. As I said, the film itself is quite enjoyable as well. And on that note, I have a question for you this week with regards to this new rating system that I'm giving. At the moment, obviously I don't review the actual films themselves because that's not what this channel is about. It's about the home media releases, but I've broken it into picture, audio and special features. But I want to ask you, is that enough? Are you interested in things such as packaging and disc or cover artwork, etc.? I only normally do unboxings if something is either a steel book or includes some sort of special collectibles or is part of a set, etc. But are you interested in packaging and presentation actually being part of the grading system? Please let me know in the comments below. That would be very helpful. And that brings me to the end of another home media minefield. I hope you found this information useful. If you did, then please could you smash that like button, consider subscribing to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss anything moving forward. I publish content every week currently and I'm reviewing films both past and present. So if there is anything in particular that you'd like me to look at and do a review of, please put that in the comments also, and I'll see if I can add it to the list. But in the meantime, I thank you for your time, and I will speak to you at the next Home Media Minefield. Bye for now, and don't get road rage.